Good evening, everybody. How you guys doing? I want to talk, guys, for a bit. What I have here is it's a key. This key is over 100 years old. That's right, over 100 years old, and it belonged to my father's parents' house. The house was built in 1920. If it was still up, it would be considered over 100 years old, 102. And this key has so many stories to tell. So many stories to tell. Now, we have a story of our own. We do. Well, each and every one of us has a story to tell. Each of us has our own path to walk. And we choose this path. Like this key. It has its own path. That's how I found it. You know how? Many years ago, I was raking leaves in my front yard. And I was raking on the side yard, just raking up, kind of get the yard looking clean, nice and decent, for the day. And I saw this key, and I stood there for I'll say about a good 5-10 minutes. Look at this key, and this key was in the yard, buried in dirt and leaves for years, not even to be found. To me, this is treasure. See, kids like this has a story to tell for all of us. There's story behind objects, like this key. I've kept this key with me for a very long time. Refused to relinquish to anybody. Like I said, we all choose our own path. We choose our own path. We choose our own path and tell our own story. Yeah. We choose a particular path because in that path is a story to tell. There's some things that we do in our life We test ourselves every day, every single day. Now, whether we know it or not, we're all historians. We all tell our own story. Sometimes there's stories that could be fabricated. There's some stories that cannot be debunked because we're living in it. We're actually living in the path we take, the path we choose. Sometimes in that path we feel like our story is coming to an end when it's only the beginning. Some of us feel that they have nothing left in the tank. When there's absolutely nothing left in the tank, which the tank has been full the whole time. Whether it's half full or half empty. Which is it? Half full or half empty? Some of us feel like they've lost. Some of us shed our tears because we feel like we've lost. But we don't shed the tears because we feel that we lost or we admit defeat. So the thing is, like this key, there's more stories to tell about ourselves. We do it to write our own story to benefit a legacy for ourselves. We all have that favorite story in a book or a movie. But sometimes in a movie, some parts of history is edited and removed with something else that's false. But in a book, when you read the book, if you live and you write it to make a book to tell your story about the fight you fight to live for, like this key, we will live a long path, whether we're in this life or the next. Whether we know it or not. Sometimes we vent out of frustration. We vent out of frustration because we feel something's going cattywampus. I know a few people who went through that, even recently. See, we look at ourselves. See, we look at ourselves, and we ask the question: is there a war on our consciousness? A war for our hearts? Or the war for our very souls? See, I'm 40. I am 46 years old. I am beyond my years. In my 11 years, I've met and talked to a lot of people. I talked to a lot of people. Talked to a lot of people. Met some too. Oh yeah. I have many names they gave me. One of them became my favorite. It was given to me by my good friend. The name I'm called, I will always cherish for a long time because I love this name. Sectoral Sage. It has a lot of how you say, the Lord of the Ringish kind of name, but it makes sense. We all think, we all wonder, we all have these names that, because of the consciousness knowledge of our very selves, we kind of know things more than others, but even better than others, because the others have become mental sheep. Because even though they're awake, they're still consciously born into, you could say, out of defiance over the truth, defiance over what's people that have that consciousness awake, who've been woken for their whole lives, man, their whole lives, never asleep, never ever asleep, never ever hide from the truth. We face the truth. We face it because we're not afraid. We are not afraid. When someone becomes afraid, then they become sheep. Sheep going to the mental slaughter, the consciousness slaughter, the psychological slaughter of their own consciousness. Now, I'm in a group. I'm known as the elder statesman because I'm older, I'm wise, and I give zero fucks. Because I've been there, done that. You know, I've see things that really make me want to take a step back. There is a war for our minds. There's a war for our spirit and soul. There's a war for our very lives. There's some that are willing to fight. There's some that are willing to hide because they're afraid. See, life is like this bottle. Is it half empty or half full? That's the question. You know, we all have our own story to tell, but we want to make it legit. We want to make it legit and worth to listen. And worth to listen, you know. I believe that we all have that story to tell. I believe so. I believe we are not done. We're not done. I don't believe we're done. I believe we got just the beginning, you know. You know, it makes some kind of question we all have, you know. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I just picked up a Trade Federation A8T. This is from episode 1 through 3. And also the Clone War TV show. When you look at the Clone Wars, you know, it's two sides. It's a civil war. It's a civil war. You know, basically what it is. It's a civil war. You have the corporates. You know, the separatists. You know, the banking clan, the Trade Federation, the Techno Union, the corporations. And then you have the Republic, the people. One side you got the banks, the corporations, the techno, big tech. And you have the people. See, the separatists, you got the big banks. You know, we got here. You know, the big banks. We got the trade unions, the Trade Federation, which is the all these trade unions. You know, the trade. You know, the The holders. The holders. And then you have the techno union, which you could say big tech and shit. So against what? The people, us. We have human rights, human life, man. You know, and you have people across this world, across this globe, the big money people. They're the ones who are creating the problem. You know, they're the ones creating the problem. They've been the problem since day fucking one. You know, they all have their own stories to tell, which some of it is a big lie. It's a big lie. Now, if you'll watch The Men That Build America, you would look at J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, Carnegie. These are guys who, for decades, even their descendants are doing the same fucking thing. It's been in the family blood for generations, man. You know. The Rockefeller family is still doing the same shit. Same shit. The Rothschilds. You know, the Rothschilds buy and own every single central bank. They own it. They own it. They raise their rates. The Fed. Who created the Fed? The 5 banking families, including the Warburgs, Rockefeller, shit like that. The J.P. Morgan and his family. They do this because they frown on people who work their damnedest, not caring the world they have for the workers. Not 1 ounce of care for the workers, you know. All these elitists, they just want to make your life a living hell. Because they don't care. Don't care. Don't care. If there's a war, if there's a war, they don't mind spending money for that side too. That's how they make the money, is financing both sides of the war. It's kind of like when you're a chancellor of the republic, and they play both sides against one another. Being the galactic-wide mastermind, because you want to control the galaxy. You want to rule it through fear, because you become the symbol of that very fear. And when you come to realize there are people that don't fear you, They're willing to put their lives on the line just to kick your ass. This is kind of like, we call it Red Dawn. Kind of like that. Citizens in a small town willing to rise up, arm themselves to do what? To kick the living shit out of a foreign invader. Don't care who the fuck it is. We're gonna kick your fucking ass, man. We're gonna kick your ass. Because we have no fear. No, we will fight, claw, scratch, punch, kick. We don't care. As long as we get to kick your ass. Right now, there's a war over the Second Amendment. So Democrats, for one thing, they want to hold gun manufacturers accountable for the shootings in this country. They want to blame the NRA. Now, Democrats right now, in this day and age, are fucking stupid, dude. Okay, they're all fucking stupid. If you voted Democrat, you are just as stupid as they are. Let me tell you why. See, what we have is we have the Second Amendment. Okay? Every free man has the right to bear arms. Okay? We have a right to bear arms. Now, this is how stupid Democrats are. Jerry Nadler, when a committee member talked about how he taught his kids how to shoot because they shoot on their farm. They hunt. And he talked about guns he used to hunt, to protect. And Jerry Nadler, out of nowhere, and he asked, question no, and he says, the Second Amendment. Now, the committee member said the Second Amendment is for protection against tyranny. And Nadler goes, "You're willing to fight against the military?" No, that's not what it's about. It means the right of the people. Okay, the right of the people has right to carry and bear arms against tyranny. That means the government. If the government becomes too oppressive, it's the people's duty to rise up and take care of that tyranny. That means take our country back against tyrants. That's right. Against tyranny. And the Democrats have been tyrannical for a long fucking time. Long fucking time. Now, Democrats will always be the party of slavery and white supremacy. Republicans are the party of the people. GOP, the grand old party. Even though I'm not, I'm a libertarian, conservative. Always will be. Always will be. Because I believe in liberty. I believe in personal freedom under the Constitution. Now, what's insane? No. You look at companies like Twitter. Their stock is going down. Their stock is in the red, going down. And they will not disclose on how many fake accounts with bots attached to them. How many bots are being used? How many bots are being used behind fake accounts? There's a lot. There's a lot. You know, see, there's always that one thing. Okay? We all have a path to choose. And once we walk that path, we hope and pray it's the right one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet. This is only the beginning. My name is Grandmaster Evan, the sectoral sage and the Jedi Master of the airwaves. Please share this video. If you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, and hit the bell for notification. Always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Godspeed.